What's up, everybody? It's KB the Dragon. With Witch Queen just 1 month away, let's talk about Void 3.0. Specifically, what exotic armor we should be trying to not only get, but have really great rolls of and ready to go. I'm going to use the little bit of info we got from the TWAB a while back, as well as previous abilities from D1, to predict what top 3 exotic armors will be for each class. So let's start with the Hunter. First up for the Hunter, we have the Bombardiers with the perk Parting Gift. Parting Gift, while being used by a nightstalker, makes a grenade that suppresses targets. This has amazing potential with the new stylish executioner aspect. Just for defeating weakened, suppressed, or volatile targets, you get both invisibility and true sight. In PvE and PvP, you can suppress a target with Bombardiers, finish them while they are suppressed to get invis and true sight, which is basically wall hacks. And while invisible, your next melee weakens targets so you can debuff a high priority target like a major or ultra in PvE, or weaken a guardian for an easy kill. Maybe even activating Stylish Executioner again, allowing you to constantly loop invis. Orpheus Rig is another great contender. Now for those who have been playing Destiny 2 since vanilla, you know this exotic well. It has the powerful perk Uncanny Arrows that gives your ability energy for tethering enemies caught by top tree Nightstalker. It also gives you more shots with the Mobius Quiver on bottom tree Nightstalker. Luckily, Mobius Quiver receives a huge buff where it shoots 2 volleys of 3 void arrows in the cone that spawns void anchors. Hopefully Orpheus Rig can squeeze another volley out of the Mobius Quiver, since normally it gives you an extra shots for that perk. On top of that, the buff to Mobius Quiver makes Orpheus Rigs an interesting swap exotic for PvP now, allowing you to switch it to a mid-match and use an upgraded super. The 3 shots at once should easily shut down any type of super or trap teams for easy wipes, especially with an added volley to the mix. As for PvE, it makes Mobius Quiver a more satisfying experience to use, capable of burst damage and area denial. The last exotic for the Hunter was a tough one, but Graviton Forfeit beat out Omni Oculus for one of my top 3 spots for the Hunter. Stylish Execution brings a new dimension of viability to this exotic. Assuming you can run Vanishing Smoke along with Vanishing Step on top of Stylish Execution, you'll be reaping the benefits of Vanishing Shadow all the time, charging your smoke bomb, faster reloads, and increased recovery, on top of constantly weakening your target with your melees. Now, let's move on to the Warlocks, starting with the Claws of Ahamkara. These gauntlets give you access to the perk The Whisper, which simply gives you an additional melee charge. But looking at Pocket Singularity, 2 melee charges are a powerful asset. Pocket Singularity allows you to launch a tracking ball of void energy that pushes targets as well as making them volatile. 2 Pocket Singularity charges, as well as the newly tweaked handheld Supernova, will let you bully guardians around by booping them all over the map, allowing you to clear areas and push targets off of capture points in PvP. Now, let's take a look at the boosts of the Assembler, which aren't just for Middle Tree Dawnblade anymore. Thanks to the new Child of God aspect, which creates a black hole that drains your opponent's energy to give you grenade and melee energy if you're in the Healing Rift, or even health while being in the Empowering Rift, this allows you to buff or heal allies with the Blessing of Order perk, while also healing yourself in the Rift or cooling down your abilities. The healing benefit from Child of the Gods will allow you to use your Empowering Rift for longer periods of time, letting you hold down choke points and giving a damage buff to your team at the same time. And if you're using the Healing Rift, it's like you have Benevolent Dawn for yourself while using Voidwalker. So why not use this exotic? The last exotic for locks will be Nazareth Sin. This exotic has been patiently waiting for some major changes to the Voidwalkers. The ability Abyssal Extractors to give you increased ability recharge rate on void damage kills, potential explosion multi-kills with volatile enemies, and even powered up Axion bolts. The potential for the old school Scatter Nova to return gives Abyssal Extractors a lot of uptime to keep their abilities alive, keeping a loop of Void Havoc going, and top that off with Devour, and you have an insatiable Warlock ready to rip through hordes of enemies and entire teams in the Crucible. Now, last but not least, we have the Titans. It's time for Severance and Closure to have its time to shine. The shield toss ability will push this exotic over the top, allowing you to toss your shield like your Sentinel super. It can bounce off of enemies and even gives you an overshield chunks for each hit. On top of that, Sparrowmatic Trigger will turn any of those final blows into an explosion, either taking out multiple targets or priming them up for you to finish the job. And with those overshield chunks you have, they won't stand a chance. Next, Doomfang Poldrins. It also plays really nicely with the shield toss, allowing the shield to give you super energy on kills, essentially turning your melee charge into Thresh. Once your super is charged, it extends the super as well and gives you more shield throws. The last Titan exotic we're going to talk about today lets you really play into the Defender fantasy, and that's the old school Crest of Alpha Lupi. This creates a healing pulse when the barricade is activated and creates more orbs from supers. The Overwatch aspect is this exotic's best friend. Overwatch turns your barricade into a void powered one that grants a void overshield for you and your allies. It even slowly refills the overshields as you stand behind the barricade. You can basically use the healing burst from the crest to guarantee that your wounded allies survive to reap the benefits of your barricade. Now that you see what current synergy we have, let's take a look at one exotic for each class that should return from D1 to benefit the new Void 3.0. D2 is a new to returning gear, so let's see and predict what we might get. Since they were last, let's start with the Titans. Titans should get the Glass House back. The Glass House came with the perk Bathed in Light, which increased the duration of weapons of light. Now imagine if on top of that, it also increased the recharge rate or strength of the Void Overshield granted by the Overlord. Warlocks should get the Ram back. The Ram is one of the most infamous exotics for the lock in D1, which comes with the perk Strength of the Ram. Strength of the Ram simply gave you increased armor and lifesteal, which gave you a little bit of health on melee hits. But I can see the Ram fully embracing the Void and giving you crazy buffs while under the effect of Devour, like maybe increased movement speed, slide distance, and damage resistance while under the effect of Devour, basically turning your Warlock into a hunger crazed monster. Lastly, we have the Hunters with the exotics Don't Touch Me, with the perk Defensive Reflex. In D1, if you were damaged from a melee attack, it made you briefly invisible. But with Void 3.0, let's go a step further. Imagine if you were hit with a melee and you shot out a small area of void energy that weakened nearby enemies, which essentially makes them easier to kill, which in turn could activate Stylus Execution, turning yourself invisible again and give you true sight, allowing your next punch to debuff the next target and continue the cycle. Thanks for watching this far. Void 3.0 and the Witch Queen is so close. Our subclasses are about to gain a level of build crafting never seen before in this game. I'm excited for all the possibilities, so tell me which class you'll be maining in the Witch Queen. And if you want to see all the crazy builds I can come up with, as well as weapon reviews, please subscribe for more. Witch Queen is only the beginning for this channel, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.